Denise McKay. I'm the author of this book, Old Lady Sweetly is 20. I'm going to read to you Chapter 2. Wake up, miss. Ship's docking at Narrows. Your stop. The captain reversed the paddle wheel, eased the Minto into a dock, and cut the thumping engines. The abrupt silence was broken only by backwash splashing the shore. The steward held a door open, and Betty stepped over the high door-sill, straining to see beyond the single beam of light cast by the stern-wheeler. Past it she could see nothing but eerie, end-of-the-world blackness. Where are the shacks? The lights? The people? Get off the Minto to nothingness? Or worse, into a forest of waiting bears? Every hair on her body stiffened with fear. She was about to throw herself on the mercy of the waiting steward when she saw the wavering beam of a flashlight farther down the dock. Two men gradually became visible as they walked into the stern-wheeler's projected spotlight. Their footsteps resounded loudly in the inky stillness. A faceless voice from the ship called out to the two shadowy figures. "Hey, Bill, Jake, got a little schoolteacher on board for you." "What? Tonight? Lord Almighty!" Betty held back. The steward prodded her down the steep metal stairs. "Move along, miss. No need to be afraid. That's Bill Trent, miss. He'll help you out. Off you go." Betty stepped onto the dock. The Minto searchlight lit up the two men on the wharf. They were of a similar build, long and lanky, with weathered faces, hunting caps on their heads, plaid shirts, and loose woolen sweaters over baggy pants, work boots. Betty looked to see if they carried guns for protection, but they did not. "This what you're down here for then, Bill?" called out the same disembodied voice from the ship. A small packet sailed through the air. Bill caught it, then turned to face Betty. He positioned himself for lecturing. Betty tensed, recognizing the move only too well. "Young lady, piece of luck I'm here. You could have been stuck on this dock all alone, all bloody night long. No one meets the Minto when it's this late." Betty opened her mouth, but nothing came out. It was typical of her tongue to lose communication with her brain whenever she really needed them to work as a team. With a rude horn blast, the stern-wheeler shoved off, returning the shore to blackness and a single flashlight. The gruff voice continued. "The name's Bill Trent, school board trustee. This here's Jake Patton. God Almighty, you school teachers are all alike, full of all the wrong kind of surprises. Who did you contact up here for room and board?" "My father told me there's a hotel here in Narrows. I'm going to stay there tonight and find my way around in the morning." That's all she managed. 10 hours on the throbbing, reverberating stern-wheeler had not completely silenced her. "The hotel? It's closed. A trapper and his wife are renting it for the winter." Now Betty's voice really shut down. Dried up for good, she feared. "Maybe they'll let you share a mattress with all of them cats they've got. Must be dozens of 'em," said Jake Patton, the other shoreman, Bill Trent's companion. Jake grinned, looking to left and right as though a full house audience was applauding his wit. Betty frowned and blinked back tears. How could he joke when her very existence was at stake? "Why do school teachers always give me problems?" Bill Trent waved his flashlight heavenward as though searching there for an answer. "I'll have to ask Granny Trent if she can stay at her place tonight. I don't look forward to asking." A loud rumble emanated from his stomach. "Oh, good luck, Bill. Gran Trent sure got mad at the last teacher she had, them two who had the rip-snorting parties. said Jake. No one else wants any teachers this year either. What's your name? Miss Wheatley, isn't it? Let's go up to Gran's place then, said Bill. The two men stepped into the dark night and began to ascend a steep road. Betty scrambled to keep up with them. How do you know my name? You're from Trail. Bill ignored her question. You related to old T.J. Wheatley? Wheatley's Billiards? The mention of her grandpa Wheatley, the solidness, the reality of him in the heavy darkness, calmed Betty somewhat. T.J. Wheatley's Billiards and Tobacco Shop. That's my grandfather. He's a tobacconist. She emphasized the word because of its respectability. She hated being linked to the pool hall. The ground leveled out. The flashlight beam highlighted a white picket fence. A few steps more brought them to a house. The three of them walked up some stairs, Betty ending up on the lowest one behind Bill and Jake. Here goes nothing, said Jake, grinning down at her. Bill knocked at the door. Black silence. Bill knocked again. From the depth of the house, a moving light appeared. A woman rounded the door. Short, plump, clutching a pale blue chenille dressing robe around her, glaring suspiciously out at them, holding a kerosene lamp, watery blue eyes blazing at Bill. What on earth are you doing banging on my door in the middle of the night? Bill's stomach now rumbled like a cement mixer. I'm sorry, Granny. I realize it's 10:30, but 10:30? Granny waggled her metal curler-clad head. She pursed her lips so tightly they disappeared. 10:30? Bill, you know I go to bed early. I need my sleep. I've got a school teacher here. She just came in on the Minto, Granny. If you'll just have her for the night, I promise to find her a place in the morning. I've told you over and over, I don't want strangers staying here. Granny tried to peer around the men. Where is she? Jake pulled Betty up to his step. Here you are, Miss Wheaty, just like the breakfast cereal, you know. Wheaties, the breakfast of champions. Wheatley, said Bill and Betty in unison. And Betty continued. I'm Betty Wheatley, teacher for grades 4, 5, and 6. Granny pushed her lamp forward. Her taut, furious features unwound a fraction of an iota. Why, you're too young to teach those big children. You're just a child yourself. Betty, the would-be actress, intent on the night's bed, struck a soulful, suitably childlike expression. At the same instant, she saw Bill looking down at her dubiously. Oh, no, she thought, now he's assessing me too, assessing my potential as a teacher. How tall are you? He asked. 5'3", she lied, and reached up to hide her nose. Her damn stupid baby nose. Well, at least having a too high forehead's an asset. It makes me look intelligent, and so do my new glasses. She thrust her jaw forward in the manner she hoped of a student frightening bulldog. But Bill remained skeptical, and Granny looked as though she were swallowing castor oil. She pulled Betty inside and slammed the door in Bill's face. Pick up your suitcases. Follow me. As Betty maneuvered her bulky suitcases through a narrow space, following Granny, her shadow, and her kerosene lamp, she resolved to ingratiate herself somehow. Your living room is very pretty. She rummaged for further tactical remarks, but her eyes locked onto the room's light switches. Why doesn't she turn at least one of them on? You can't see much of this wretched lot. When I came here from England, I never thought I would spend so many years coping with these dirty things. Of course, we're getting electricity this fall. The question sounded like an accusation. Oh, well, yes, of course, Betty lied. It seemed the right thing to do. Rural electrification program. Granny spat out the words like caustic soda. New power station out at Watshan. Probably have lights by October. So they say. I doubt it. It should have been hooked up ages ago. A Chesterfield and 2 small armchairs festooned with crochet doilies clustered around a potbelly stove. Next to the dining table, a Chippendale cabinet chock full of assorted Spode and Wedgwood dishes caught Betty's eye. Even her Grandma Wheatley, with all her money, her big house, didn't have as much china. They continued through a doorway into a dark kitchen. A Gurney Oxford range polished to a high shine dominated the shadows. Here, Granny held the lamp aloft so Betty could see into an adjoining room. What a pretty bedroom, Betty thought. It's as decorative as a gift box. You can sleep here tonight, but that's all, warned Granny. She brought another kerosene lamp from the kitchen, lit it, and shoved it at Betty. Now, good night. Close the bathroom door on my side and flush the toilet. It's properly hooked up now. And, she emphasized, don't you dare wake me up early by walking around. I need my sleep, and I don't get up until 9. Show gratitude, Betty decided. She flashed the widest smile she could make, wide enough to counteract the dimness. Good night, Granny. Mrs. Trent. Thank you very much for taking me in. I didn't relish the thought of sleeping on the dock. Well, it's probably where you should be. Granny Trent retraced her steps to her bedroom, leaving behind a wake of indignant darkness. Some microscopic, still-functioning part of Betty placed the lamp on the night table without dropping it. She removed only 1 layer of clothing and pulled on her pajamas over the rest in case of sudden eviction. She climbed under the bed covers. The room smelled clean. The blanket's faint odor of mothballs reminded her of home. My dad's wrong, she thought. This place is no shack. She extinguished the lamp. Ms. Wheaty, Jake Patton had called her. Wheaties, the breakfast food of champions. That stupid radio commercial. Champion? She sighed. Me a champion? Champion of what? Champion of zilch. She stared into the night, fixating on the dim silhouette of a swaying shadow. A dense shrub, she decided, just outside the window. Self-hypnosis, willing sleep to deaden her anxiety. Her eyelids soon fluttered shut. The shadow slipped away on shuffling feet.